We're the American Devils, and we are previewing Manchester United's next match against the Foxes, Leicester City, Leicester Foss at the King Power Stadium. It's a big game for Manchester United. Leicester are going down. United are staying up, but United need to turn the corner. They need to build something for the Europa League campaign. So that's what it's all about. We want to have something to build on for next year, of course. We don't want to end the season the way we played for the last, 8 months. But really, it's about building up a bit of momentum, getting some goals in our boots, starting to figure out this formation under this new manager, and getting some results in the league so we can hopefully find some form or continue some form before that big quarterfinal matchup with Lyon in early April, sir. But we got the Foxes away. They're in dreadful form. They're in the worst form in the league, and we've had their number with and without Ruud van Nistelrooy as our interim manager a little early in the season. So it's a big match. Who's going to show up? I'm very worried. It's going to be a dead duck situation where Leicester is technically still not out of it. They're still fighting with Wolves, who I think are in 16th place. They feel out of it. So it's a big match for United. Sink or swim. Are we going to show up? Please show up. Can we show up? We're not going to show up, are we? What's happening? What's going to happen?
I mean, Leicester's a proper shit side. You know, we have beat them up this year. I think it is a tight turnaround. You have to think about it, right? It's a big game against Sociedad. Adrenaline dump away. It's a late Sunday kickoff as well. It's going to factor into the game. And so, with this team, we're just consistently inconsistent. And I hope that we show up. We see like a big win, convincing win. Put 2 past them early. Put them to the sword with the third. Don't concede. Clean sheet. Get everybody a little bit of confidence and kind of build into these harder fixtures as well as the quarterfinals of the Europa League. But you never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates with this team.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this team is you never know who's going to show up. They've shown that they can compete for parts of games and be like, stick.
Yeah, most of the time it's shit. Most of the time you're eating the box of chocolate, you're like, oh, what does this taste like? It tastes like shit.
Cardboard.
Like,
Wow, is that a shit-flavored chocolate?
80% of the time it just tastes like shit. But like
sometimes it tastes like chocolate.
Every once in a while you might get like a non-shit half,
Or a non-shit 20 minutes.
It's been a rough year.
It's been a very rough year. It's been a rough year for ARD, for Manchester United, for the broader community. But we've seen the glimmers of life from this side over the last few matches.
Football, and we're like, we're back, baby. We're going to win Europa League. Like, we've had like 2 decent halves of football. We're like, we're back. It's like we're so thirsty.
We're not back.
For any results.
This is important.
This team is driving us nuts.
If you can't show up against Leicester, even though it's away, I know it's 2 days rest. That's a fair point. But they're a bad Leicester side. Like I said, they're in the worst form in the EPL. We're not in great form either, but we have to be able to show up. We have to be able to grab the momentum. Someone's got to go out there and score some fucking goals. Højlund is dying for a goal. Somebody needs to go and score open play goals other than Bruno Fernandes. That's all I ask. Not a set piece, not a corner, not a penalty, and not Bruno Fernandes. Ideally, Garnacho's due for a goal. Obviously, Højlund's due for a goal. Xerxes needs goals as well. So that's what we need to do. We need to find our scoring boots and get even more tightly organized and more consistent defensively. Onana's got to get these fucking howlers out of the way for the rest of the season. And
he doesn't look confident.
We just got to build on something. We got to build. This team doesn't look confident. This team is wavy gravy, bro. This team is like thin. Like you said about the Spanish, stiff breeze will blow them over. This team often looks like that. We look like we don't have a lot of guile. And that's why these games are important. We have to go and show up because guess what? Leicester's going to be up for it. King Power is going to be packed, bro. Manchester United's in town. They're going to be lively. What type of United side is going to show up on Sunday?
Sir, quick PSA for the podcast. Before we get into the pod proper and break this game down, you got to check us out on YouTube. American Devils are for fans, by fans. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, get over to our YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and comment. Helps the channel. Helps us get found by other Muppets like yourself. Help us grow this small-time YouTube channel. And, sir, if you want to go the extra mile, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/AmericanDevils. We have over 100 Patreon subscribers. You want to support this pod, you get an extra behind-the-scenes episode every single month. Tons of other benefits. Please check it out. Join the Patreon community. They are the creme de la creme of the ARD squad. Also, check out our store, AmericanDevils.store. We got scarves, we got shirts, we got hats, we got beanies, we got stickers. Everything you need to support the greatest team in the world, sir. We also got a great blog. Alex posting about the ownership protest. We were there with the 1958. It was intense. It was awesome to support this protest. And then obviously Sir Jim on the run, giving all these interviews.
He looked pooped. He looked tired.
It was a rough couple of days. And then Sir, tell about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews and 5-star reviews of the American Devils. Wherever you listen, it's a great way to support the pod. But if you want some free merch, write a 5-star review in iTunes or Spotify and send a screenshot of that review to americadevils@gmail.com with your mail and address, and I'll personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear sent right to your door anywhere in the world, sir. We got those 5-star reviews coming in. Keep them coming. Let's see some 5-star Reds on Sunday. Let's get into it.
Let's go 5-star Reds. That's right. Leicester City must win for Manchester United. Yep. Must win. We got to build some form. We're going to try to go to Bilbao and raise the Europa League trophy. We need to find some form. If you can't beat Leicester, how are you going to beat those teams on the way to the final? They're not great, but they're better than Leicester. It goes down Sunday, March 16th, noon Pacific. United are the heavy favorites. We're playing at the King Power Stadium, sir. The stadium opened in 2002 as Walker Stadium. You love some crisps. I was leaning on the crisps in
That's
Europe.
it, bro.
Sometimes there's some tough cuisine, sir. I was leaning on the crisps, Great crisps at Old Trafford. You were opting for the pot.
Yes, for the pod. Content is king, sir. After all, Chris don't just show up as well for a review.
This guy hold the record at the Amex Stadium for most pies eaten.
Let's get into the weather. It's going to be cold and overcast, low 40s. Cold and overcast. It's a night game. Wow, you don't see that on Sunday night. They're going to be furious, the traveling Reds. So it's going to be overcast, like I said, low 40s. Where are we eating? Alex is Scranwatch. We're going to Merchant of Venice. The key to England.
They got some pies here for Alex loves a meat pie.
Okay, bro. Go to the photos of the food. I think the key to enjoying yourself in England aim small, miss small. Ethnic food tends to be the way.
Gothic decor. It's right up your alley, sir.
Standard fare. It's not gonna. Looks good. Taste your red sauce. Get Merchant of Venice. It looks a little cheesy, but it is Leicester. What do you expect?
Anytime they got the
ketchup pack, it's England, bro.
On the table, you're eating at like a high quality restaurant, sir. They got
we were just there. It's England, bro. Are you aware? It's England, not Chelsea, London. Okay. What's next? Leicester City. Tell us about the Foxes, sir. They go back.
Founded in 1884 as Leicester Foss FC.
The ketchup packets. Sir, it's a pregame before we go to a football match. I'm not taking you to fucking Leicester. The ketchup. It's funny though. Sorry.
This guy ate 17 pies.
25 pies.
17 pies.
I had to have 25 pies.
At the MX Stadium.
And a pie every 3 minutes.
I got the photos to prove it, sir. Obviously,
I want to see these photos.
Leicester City, 15-16 Premier League title winners. That was a miracle. It was unbelievable when they went on their title run. Obviously, manager Ruud van Nistelrooy sitting in 19th place, 16 points off 17th. They do need to win at all costs, and when you're desperate, anybody is going to be dangerous against this Manchester United side, especially this season. Tell us about Ruud van Nistelrooy. He was our interim manager earlier this season.
He was, sir, and there's 6 points off of Wolves, who are playing as in form finally. Ruud van Nistelrooy, we know him. What a lethal striker, one of the finest number 9s we ever had at Manchester United. The 48-year-old Dutch coach. We know him well. He won 2 games as interim at Manchester United this season against Leicester last fall, and he's having a very poor go, poor bastard. At Leicester. He's in the worst form of the league. I think he was in the Opta stats on Twitter the other day, not for the right reasons. He's lost 80% of his matches, which is right below Mick McCarty, who I think is the worst technically EPL manager of all time. But how does he like to play? He likes the low build up. Usually sets his team up in a 1-4-2-3-1. Back 4, 2 holding midfielders. Big believer in the rest defense. Likes to get players as close to the center of a good structure as possible. And he likes to change formations around a lot. I think they're going to be compact.
Pack it in.
They're going to sit back, and they're going to look to counter with some of the speed they have. Let's get into their signings. They spent a decent amount of money, right? They came out of championship. They won the championship last year. Spent some decent dough. Oliver Skip out of Spurs.
IU as well.
IU. Fatawa is a highly rated youngster out of Sporting, so maybe we can pick him up after they get relegated. Obviously, he would know Ruben Amorim. And I think one of the reasons that they're getting relegated is most of these signings have not come off. So, yeah, there you go. The form, sir. Let's get into it. It is dreadful. They lost against Chelsea 1-0. That was actually a close match, but they got dominated. West Ham beat them 2-0. Brentford smoked them. We saw Brentford 4-0. Arsenal beat them 2-0. And then we beat them, even us.
2-1 FA Cup.
Yep, of course.
And then we got bounced by mighty Fulham. But that
was before the turn. Before the turn.
Before the ARD turnaround. Before we made the trip to Old Trafford and literally turned the season around. Star player to watch, Salty Vardy.
Salty Vardy, ageless, 38-year-old English striker, still going at it. You nailed it years back. He would have been a great pickup by Fergie. He would have been all over this transfer. He's still a top scorer at the moment with 7 goals this season, even though he's missed large parts of the season with injuries. And let's get into that 11. So, like I said, most recently when they played Chelsea, they played 3 at the back, 3-4-2-1. We know Vardy, of course. We know Ndidi. We know Faze. He's fair.
Cody as well. Faze is not bad. But, look, this is a team that's there for the taking for United. It's like, let's be honest. The excuse factory is going to be working overtime. We don't beat Leicester City. No doubt. To why we are going to be digging for some more hopium to win the Europa League. But Højlund needs a brace. Garnacho needs a goal. Like, we need to play well. We need to dominate the ball. We need to have confidence. You have to build on something. You got to go somewhere, right? This has been a rough year, and I think it's time to show up and have a performance. But let's also be honest with United. Unfortunately, it is a tight turnaround. We have tons of injuries, and letdowns are our thing. Win a big game against Sociedad, don't show up here. That's kind of what we have seen. So if we come out hot from the jump, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Ref watch, we have Thomas Bramall. He's coming up in the game. It's a newer referee. Don't really have too much to say about him other than, how about you watch that Europa League game, give us 2 penalties, and then the other team red card, we'll be set. That's how I think.
No, he's largely a championship manager. He moved up this season, starting doing some EPL games. I think
for refs.
The less you know about a ref, the better. The less high profile, the less name brand they are, usually the better they are. So that gives me a little bit of hope for this game. We'll get in the 11. Sorry, let's get in the 11 from the Arsenal match. Walk us through it.
Oh, no, Onana in net. We had De Ligt, Lindelof, Euro. It was oh, no. He's oh, no until he's oh, yeah. There's just he has not done anything to deserve the change in the nickname just yet. So I hope he's listening. I hope he turns it around. Deloa, the left wing back, Casemiro, Bruno, and then Mazraoui on the right, Eriksen, Garnacho, and Xerxes up front. Obviously, Dogu out.
One last game.
Yep. Heaven can come in the back line. I think that will happen. I did like De Ligt, Maz, and Heaven. He should just run that back. The only issue is that we do not have the right wing back, so Maz might push up, and it could be Euro, Heaven, De Ligt. That might be an option. Bruno, Casemiro, he could rotate too.
He needs to.
Be some rotation.
They don't have a lot of players to rotate. I think Ugarte will come in for Casemiro. Eriksen will come in. I think you're right there. Eriksen will come in. Maybe bench Xerxes, maybe bench Garnacho, even though both of them were very lively against Sociedad. Euro might still be out with that foot injury, sir. So it's going to be a makeshift squad. A lot of the same players. Front 3 will be interesting. Like you said, Højlund needs a goal desperately. But also when we play those two together in the league, him with Xerxes, they have not looked effective in any regard. So maybe we will see revert to the Garnacho, Xerxes, Eriksen front 3.
Well, the only argument against that is international break does come right after this, so that there really is no need to rest anybody. So just short of injuries, right? But we do have time before our fixtures actually get hard, where we play Forest, City, Lyon, Newcastle, Lyon, Wolves. That's...
Fuck. When's Ahmad back?
It's those 5 games.
Fucking get Luke Shaw some Ozempic, bro.
That's really the run there. That's really the run. Because
we need some players to come back, and we need nobody to get injured on fucking international break. For what? What's it? Why do they have an international break?
Amram, sign me up.
Why do they have an international? That's like the pies. That's like the pies. I'm not touching that. Wow, Weghorst over here.
As far as the odds, sir, break it down.
United, big favorites, plus 330. plus 330 for Leicester at home, plus 270 for the draw, plus minus 120 for United on the road. So you're up. Score prediction. Let's hear it.
I think we're going to be beaten Leicester City. I'm going to go 3-1. I think United win. I do think we show up. We show some consistency. We show some fight. This team is going to build into this tough run of fixtures and maybe catch some of these teams.
Maybe. That would be nice.
Otherwise, it's going to be fucking miserable. And I don't want to go
probably
there.
be miserable. But I'm going to stick on the Hopium. I think, results come in bunches. I'm calling 4-1, a repeat of the Real Sociedad scoreline. Big win. Gives United a little momentum headed into the international break, which would be huge. Because otherwise, you lose to Leicester. And give them a win, their first win in like months. It's going to be a long international break.
I feel like the Scouts Bastards running away with this stake at the moment. The score prediction game, we do need to call out kind of where we are. 3 points for correct result. And it is 10 points for the correct score and result. I have 83 points.
Remember, I basically didn't get any results until they fired Ten Hag. So that, all things considered,
Alex has 61 points. So it's been fun to do the score prediction. Actually, have something on the line. But I am eyeing that steak dinner, sir. I'm going Wagyu. I think here. I'm going Wagyu. First
you should know better.
Set the tone.
You should know better.
Set the tone. Hurt my boy.
Can't beat American sirloin Angus. Prime rib, baby. Prime beef. I love it, sir. It's a fun way to keep us honest because before we were just
throwing out predictions.
Throwing it out of the air.
Now there's something on the line. And but if we win 4-1, you're back in it. You're back in it. And this guy can have a steak. I'll tell you.
Yeah, and can I? You think I can eat 20 meat pies? How many steaks do you think I can eat?
Look, that's it. That's the podcast. You like the American Red Devils? Please check out our store, americandevils.store. Grab some merch, support the podcast. Patreon as well is another way to do it. Also, subscribe. Get us your score predictions in the comments below. We got some hopium, sir. The season's not over yet. Those games in April, that's going to decide everything. I'm a little nervous just looking at these fixtures, but I'm hopeful that we can go the distance in Europe. It'd be nice to big semifinal. Final, that's when we get, that's we do need to right the wrong of the Yellow Submarine, our boy De Gea hitting that penalty. That's also the most cruel way to lose is goalkeeper penalty. I've never even seen it.
I've never even seen it at United.
That's what the hell is going on? I really blame Ole in that extra time, but regardless, we do need to right that wrong and just get rid of that game.
Yeah, wash your memory away.
Winning the trophy is the only way to right that wrong, is winning that trophy. And so, could it be done? I think we're not ready yet. I think it's exciting to see United get deep into a European competition, but I just don't know if this team is ready to push on or with the injuries that we have.
I have to agree. I think we have a much better coach than we had with Ole, but that squad was playing a lot better than we're playing right now. And certainly when Jose won it that first year, we were playing some good football before, sad Jose, manic Jose, maniac Jose took over, but we're not there right now. So we could maybe if we find some form in April, that could be a different story. But the team that we've seen over the last 9 months or 7 months, right, as you said, not good enough to beat Lyon, not good enough to win the Europa League. But hey, things can change. You find some form, that could change because our teams in that fucking competition that are very beatable. So let's do it. And there's no Unai Emery. Unai Emery's had our number in Europa League, so I'm just happy to know he's in Champions League now with Aston Villa playing someone big in the quarterfinals. But either way, huge game. A lot to look forward to. Leicester on the weekend, sir. We need to get a result. Let's get a result.
Sir, give us our top 10 downloads last 7 days.
Number 1, how you doing? Los Angeles, California, Chicago, Illinois, Melbourne, Australia, Houston, Texas, New York, Portland, Oregon, Brooklyn, New York, Charlotte, North Carolina, Dublin, Ireland, and Atlanta, Georgia. Appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do it without you. Big games coming thick and fast. Let's get a result on Sunday. Let's not shit the bed. Come on. Let's get some chocolate.